A very good morning to all the students. This video for the class 7th subject science chapter number 11, that is transportation in animals and plants. This is your lecture number 1. So the topics to be covered in today's video lecture, we are going to cover some topics. So the topics, first topic is activity first and activity second. Second topic is why the plants and animals need a transportation system. Second topic is the human circulatory system. Third one is the blood vessels and the structure and the functioning of the heart. At last, the heartbeat topic. So let us begin this lecture with the activity first. So in the first activity, the aim of this activity is to make a simple model of stethoscope. So the procedure is, firstly you have to fix the one end of a rubber tube about 15 inches long to the stem of a funnel. Then stretch a balloon or the rubber sheet on the mouth of the funnel with the help of a strong rubber band. Then place a funnel on the chest and hear the heartbeat sound from the other end of the tube. So this is the model of a stethoscope that you have to make. Firstly, you have to fix the one end of a rubber tube that is a 15 inches long. Okay. Then stretch a balloon or a rubber sheet you can take on the mouth of the funnel with the help of a strong rubber band. Then place the funnel on the chest and hear the heartbeat sound from the other end of the tube. Okay. This is the simple model of stethoscope. Next is the second activity. So aim of the second activity is to study the color of the plant changes with the colored water. Procedure is, pour the water to fill 1/3 of the glass. Second, then add a few drops of a red ink into that water. After that you will cut the base of the stem of the herb, or you can take any plant and put it in the glass and observe it for the next day. So you have to cut the stem of this herb plant, okay, and put it in the glass of the colored water and observe it for the next day. So the question is, do any of the part of the herb appear to have a red color? If yes, then how do you think the color reaches there? Okay, first is, any part of this plant, of this stem, have the red color? If the color is red, then how do you think this color reached there? Okay. Next is about the third topic, why the plants and animals need a transportation system. We all know that about the animals and needs the transportation system, because we know that the all living organisms like the plants and the animals need the food, oxygen and water, so they can easily survive at that place. That's why they need the transportation. Second, these elements need to be delivered to their body parts so they can function properly. Hence, all the living organisms need a transport system in their body. So the plants and animals needs a transportation system for their survival. Okay. Next is about the human circulatory system. So the transport system in human is called the circulatory system. It is also called the blood circulatory system. Here the blood is the main circulating fluid in this system. So as you can see, there are the several blood vessels, the arteries and veins, and this is your heart. Okay, your circulatory system transports food from the digestive systems to all the part of your body part. That food from the digestive system to all the part of the body it transports. And second is the circulatory system transport the oxygen and carbon dioxide to the lungs. Okay. Next is, first, the circulatory system is a transport system of the human body which consists of a network that supplies food, water, oxygen and other substance throughout the body for the survival. The main parts of the circulatory systems are blood, blood vessels and heart. So the circulatory system in human being is a highly specialized system. So it consists the following component here: blood, blood vessels and heart. So first one is the blood. Blood is a circulatory fluid that flow in the blood vessels. And second is the blood vessels, a system of a fine tubes through which your blood flows. And third one is heart, a pumping organ that pumps out the blood with force. Okay. Next we talk about the blood. So basically the blood is a red color fluid that flows in our body through the blood vessels. Okay, this is blood. So here is a function of the blood. There are the various functions of the blood in our body. That first one is the blood acts as the medium of the transportation of essential substances throughout our body, such as oxygen and nutrients. Second, the blood carries oxygen from the lungs and transport it to the different cells of the body. So the first function is it transports the oxygen from lungs to the tissue and carbon dioxide from the tissue to the lungs. Okay, this is the first one. Second one is it transports food absorbed by the digestive system to the various part of the body. Okay. Next is it transports the waste product from the tissues to kidney for removal. And it transports the hormones, minerals, vitamins and water from one part of the body to another part. Okay. Then components of the blood. So, or we can say the composition of blood. So blood can perform several functions because of the different substances present in it. So the first is, the main component is the blood plasma. Several cells. First one is the red blood cells, that is also known as erythrocytes. Second is WBC, that is white blood cells. We can say that is leucocytes. And fourth one is the blood platelets. The another name of blood platelets is thrombocytes. Okay. So first one is the blood plasma. Here the liquid substance that is present in the blood is called blood plasma. So it almost the 55% of the blood is called as blood plasma. Okay. And it is light yellow fluid part of the blood in which the blood cells are present, that is blood plasma. Next is the red blood cells, RBC, erythrocytes. They are present in the ample amount in the blood, that is 40 to 45%, and they are red in color because they contain a special pigment called as hemoglobin. Okay, they contain the special pigment called hemoglobin that is present in the red blood cells. Next is WBC, white blood cells or leukocytes. They are present in the fewer amount, almost the 1%, but it perform a vital function in the body, that is these cells fight against the germs present in the body, or it protects the body against the disease and any other infection. Next is the blood platelets. These are the cells that help in the formation of the blood clot and prevent the blood from flowing out of the body due to any injury or any accident. Okay, it's helping the clotting of blood. Next is the picture of the component of the food. First one is the blood plasma, that is yellow fluid part of the blood in which the blood cells are present, that is 55%. Okay, in blood plasma, water, iron, proteins and nutrients and the waste and gases. So the blood plasma is made up of the water, salt, fat, protein and sugar. and this transport or facilitate the different substances throughout the body. Okay, this is about the plasma. Second is the platelets and WBC, that is 1%. In the platelets or in WBC, they are present in the fewer amount, almost the 1%, but they perform the vital function in this body. WBC's function is it protect the body against the disease and any other infection. And second thing is the colorless platelets and white blood cells are the colorless without hemoglobin, because if there no hemoglobin is present, then it's colorless, because hemoglobin is red in color. Okay, and platelets and the white blood cells are very small, irregular in shape. And third one is the RBC. Here in the RBC, that is 44% content is present. So they are red in color because they contain a special pigment, that is hemoglobin. Okay, RBCs are circular, disc-like shape and do not contain the nucleus. Third thing is they are red in color due to the red pigment, that is hemoglobin, and it transport oxygen to all the part of the body. These are the function of all these cells. The function of RBC is to transport the oxygen to all the parts of the body. Function of the platelets is it help in the clotting of blood. Function of WBC is it protect the body against the disease and infections. And the blood plasma's function is the plasma facilitates the transportation of different substances throughout the body. Moving on the next topic, that is blood vessels. So the circulatory system in human being is a specialized system that you already know that, and the following components are the blood vessels. Now we are starting with the blood vessels. So there are the three types of the blood vessels in the body: arteries, veins and capillaries. Okay, our body contains tube-like structure called the blood vessels that help in the transportations of blood throughout our body. And our body contains the two type of blood vessels based on the function that they perform. The third blood vessel is capillary, that is smaller in structure. Okay, so first blood vessel is arteries, veins. Now we are going to study about the arteries. So these blood vessels carry the blood from the heart that contain oxygen into the different part of the body. Arteries have thick wall as the blood pressure is quite high in these the blood vessels. So that's why the arteries have the thick wall, because the BP level is quite high in the blood vessels. They are narrow so that the blood can flow quickly through them. Arteries have narrow, so blood can easily flow. They do not contain walls, as the blood in arteries always flow in the right direction due to the pumping of the heart. That's why they do not have any type of walls. Next is about the veins. So these blood vessels carry blood that is rich in the carbon dioxide from the body organs to the heart. Second thing is veins do not have the thick walls, as the blood pressure is quite low in them. They are slightly wider than the arteries. As you can see here, these are the arteries. Network like structure is the capillary, and here the blue in color is vein. So first one is the arteries. They have the thick and the elastic walls because blood flow with the high pressure. Okay, and arteries carry blood away from the heart to the body organs, from the heart to the body organs. And arteries carries the oxygen rich blood from the heart to all the part of the body. The arteries carry the oxygenated blood. Okay, and they do not have any type of walls. Second is about the veins. veins have the thinner and the less elastic wall because the blood flow is slow due to the low pressure. Okay, and third thing is veins. These veins collect the blood from the organ and carry it towards the heart. They collect all the blood from the organ and carry it toward the heart. Next, they carry the carbon dioxide rich blood. These veins carried the deoxygenated blood from all the parts of the body to heart, except only the pulmonary vein. The pulmonary veins carry the oxygenated blood. Okay, in the same way, in the arteries carry oxygenated blood, except the pulmonary arteries, it carry deoxygenated blood. In the same way, in vein, all the veins carry the deoxygenated blood except the pulmonary vein. Okay, and they have walls which allow blood to flow only towards the heart. They contain walls that it can prevent the backflow of the blood from flowing in the opposite direction. That's why they have walls. And the capillaries are, about the next thing is the pulmonary veins. Here I have already told you about the pulmonary veins, arteries. The pulmonary arteries is a special blood vessel that connect the heart. It's connect the heart to the lungs because the pulmonary arteries take the blood that contain less oxygen. Okay, it contain the deoxygenated blood. This is the only artery that carry the deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs. But on another hand, all the arteries carry the oxygenated blood. Only the pulmonary arteries carry the deoxygenated blood from the heart to lungs. Okay, hence it is unlike all other arteries carry the oxygenated blood, but this pulmonary arteries carry deoxygenated blood. Next is about the pulmonary veins. In pulmonary vein is a special blood vessel that connects the lungs and the heart. In the same way, all the veins carry the deoxygenated blood, but only this pulmonary veins carry the oxygenated blood from lungs to heart. It carry the oxygenated blood from lungs to the heart. Okay, so it is unlike all other veins carry the deoxygenated blood. Only the pulmonary veins carry the oxygenated blood from lungs to heart. This is about the pulmonary vein. Next is about the capillaries. So capillaries these are the small blood vessels are called as capillaries, and the arteries divide themselves into capillaries which then deliver the oxygenated blood to the tissues in the body. So these capillaries take up the deoxygenated blood from the tissues to the veins. First thing, they extremely thin wall, okay, and blood flow is extremely slow. So the capillary form a network of very thin tube in between the arteries and in between the veins, and they allow the exchange of substances through their thin walls. Okay, the capillary form a network of very thin tube in between the arteries and vein in the organ and tissues. Okay, and the capillaries deliver the oxygenated blood to the tissue in the body, and these capillaries take up the deoxygenated blood from the tissues to the veins. Okay, next is about the heart. So heart is an organ that is present in our body that pumps the blood in the blood vessels. Okay, and it is located in the chest cavity. Third thing is the lower part is little tilted. The lower part is little tilted toward the left side. Okay, Then this heart is divided into 4 chambers, which prevents the oxygenated blood and from mixing with the carbon dioxide rich blood, the deoxygenated blood and oxygenated blood. So first thing, that is the atria or the upper chamber contain blood with no oxygen. There is no oxygen in the upper chamber, that is atria. And the ventricle, the lower part or the lower chamber of the heart, contain the oxygenated blood. So the artery and ventricle both are individually divided by with the help of some valves. As you can see, these are the valves that the atrium and ventricle both are divided individually. Okay, these are the valves, tricuspid valves and bicuspid valves. Next is from the left ventricle, from this part, from the left ventricle, the biggest arteries of our body called aorta begins. From this part, the biggest part of our body called the aorta is begun from the left ventricle, and the right atrium of the body, this right atrium of the body receive the deoxygenated blood from the body through a vena cava. From the superior vena cava, the right atrium of the body receive the deoxygenated blood. Okay, and vena cava is the largest vein of our body. Okay. Next is about the heart. The heart is divided into 4 chambers which prevent the oxygenated blood from mixing with the deoxygenated blood. Second is the atria or the upper chamber contain the blood with no oxygen, and the lower chamber, that is ventricle of the heart, contain the oxygenated blood. The atria and the ventricle both are individually divided within themselves in 2 chambers with the help of the valves. The atria and the ventricle parts both are divided by the help of a valve, that is bicuspid or tricuspid valves. Next is the flow of blood in human body or the functioning of heart. So first, from the left ventricle of the heart pumps out the oxygenated blood to the aorta. From this left ventricle, the heart pumps out the oxygenated blood to aorta, which take it to the body cells. Okay, then body cells take in the oxygen, give out the carbon dioxide. Firstly, what will happen? From the lungs, the oxygenated bloods carry out, okay, by the pulmonary veins. Through the pulmonary veins, this oxygenated blood, it goes to the left auricle, then it goes to the left ventricle. From the left ventricle, this oxygenated blood goes into the body organs, all the body parts via arteries, mean arteries. Okay, because you already know that the arteries carry the oxygenated blood, only the pulmonary arteries carry the deoxygenated blood. So from the lungs, the oxygenated blood carry out by the help of the pulmonary veins. It goes to the left auricle, then it goes to the left ventricle. This left ventricle, from the left ventricle, the oxygenated blood goes to all the body organs through the arteries. Okay, and this all the oxygenated blood in body organs, these body cells take the oxygen and give out the carbon dioxide from this blood through the capillary network. So this carbon dioxide rich blood is collected by the vein, this deoxygenated blood. Carbon dioxide rich blood is deoxygenated blood, and oxygen rich blood is oxygenated blood. Okay, then from the body organs, the carbon dioxide rich blood or the deoxygenated bloods via veins, it goes to right auricle. Okay, from the right auricle it goes to the right ventricle, and then it goes to the lungs via pulmonary arteries. this deoxygenated blood goes to the lungs via pulmonary arteries. This is the only arteries which carry the deoxygenated blood. Okay, while all the arteries carry the oxygenated blood except this pulmonary arteries. So this arteries carry the deoxygenated blood and it passes the deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Okay, in the same way, from the lungs the oxygenated blood reaches again into the left auricle with the help of pulmonary veins. Okay, from the left auricle this oxygenated blood enters to the left ventricle, from where it is pumped to the aorta, and aorta transport it to all the body organs. Okay, then again the carbon dioxide rich blood is collected by the veins and it goes to the right auricle, then it goes to the right ventricle, then this deoxygenated blood goes to the lungs via pulmonary arteries, and this cycle goes continuous. Okay, this is the functioning of heart. Next is about the heartbeat. So the muscles of the heart relax and contract, or continuously it pumps the blood in the arteries. So this rhythmic contraction and the relaxation of the heart is called heartbeat. Okay, the heart contract and relax alternately in a rhythmic way. So when it contracts, it throws the blood out of the heart into aorta with a force, and when it relax, it gets filled with the blood again. So this cycle continues again and again, don't stop. Okay, the contraction and the relaxation of the heart is called as heartbeat. So the stethoscope is an instrument that is used to listen to the heartbeat of a person. This is the picture of the stethoscope, and it amplifies the heartbeat so that doctors can monitor it and find out about the patient's condition. So heartbeat is the refer to the number of heartbeat in 1 minute. Okay, it is normally 70 to 80 beats per minute. So doctor listen to the heartbeat by using the stethoscope. So the stethoscope consists a rounded chest piece. This is the rounded chest piece with a very sensitive diaphragm. This is the diaphragm. Okay, and the two earpiece, these are the two earpiece, and a rubber tube attached. This is the rubber tube attached with the chest piece and to the earpiece. Firstly, the stethoscope amplifies the sound of the heart and can be heard clearly by the earpiece that is attached to it. Okay, for example, when you are running, so the heartbeat is increases. Okay, so whenever you are climbing or straining or exercising, so heart needs to pump faster to supply the more oxygen to the body. So heartbeat also increases during fever and certain illness. It contains the two earpiece. Okay, a tube that connects them to the chest piece comprising of a sensitive diaphragm here. So this is all the parts of the stethoscope. Okay. Next is the homework part of this lecture number 1 of chapter number 10, that is the transportation in animals and plants. So the first question is, give the 4 differences between the arteries and veins. Second is, state the function of blood. Third one is the absorption of the nutrient and exchange of the respiratory gases between the blood and tissues takes place in veins. Second option is arteries. Third option is heart. Fourth option is capillaries. Okay, and fourth question is, write down the observation of activity first and activity second and perform these activity at your home. This is it about this lecture. Hope you have understood this lecture. Thank you and have a nice day.